Good day everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit like, comment, subscribe, tap that notification bell so you can know when I'm uploading to the channel. Alrighty you guys, so today I'm here to give you your ancestor message. And all day I've been outside in nature, all day. I went to go and hang out at the strawberry farm, and after the strawberry farm, we actually didn't get to pick any strawberries, but there was some sunflowers there, and the sunflowers were like in all different variations, and with those different variations, we was able to select like sunflowers that we wanted to clip. And on the ride home, the sunflowers, they looked like they was withering. And as they looked like they was withering, I don't know, it was like little insects that was like coming off of them and things like that, and just flying around in the car, and someone was crawling on my legs, and I'm like, okay, all right, little guys, you know. And then I came home and I clipped the sunflowers and put them inside of some water with some plant food, and so I'm waiting on them to stand back up real tall or whatever. But as all of this was happening, all I could envision at the moment was how much these annoying things, how much of a significant role these annoying things play in making these flowers as beautiful as they are. You know, you had the bugs that was eating the bugs that was going to damage the leaves, and then you had the bugs that was going to, that was getting food for its little family, and then you had the little bumblebees and stuff that was up there pollinating. You had the little bees that was pollinating and doing all the things, and they was all in their little flow, and all of them was in sync with one another. And so they was in sync. It was like they all knew exactly what it was that they were supposed to be doing, when they were supposed to be doing, up until the moment that the flower was clipped or died. And I was just thinking to myself, how beautiful this flower is going to look inside of my home, or these flowers are going to look inside of my home, and all that it took to get this flower to stand as tall and as strong and as vibrant as it is. Like, it took all of these different things for it to be as beautiful as it is, and as, like all the way down to the colors and how thick the stems are, and the holes inside the leaves, and it was just like so fascinating to me as I watched all of those things work together, in alignment for the overall end game of that flower. And that was not, you didn't see like one bee trying to outdo the other. It was like it was doing what it was supposed to be doing, with no thought of what the other bee was doing, because it knew that like they was both on the same assignment, doing the same thing. They was a part of the same assignment, a part of the same team, a part of the same assignment. They just had different roles within the assignment on the team, but it was like the same thing, but just different. They both species of bees looked like they was from different tribes. Even the different bugs that was assisting with whatever this process was, they were all different species from different tribes, all working together to make sure that this flower looks beautiful, and that more of these beautiful flowers grow. And I was like, wow, look at them working together. And that was just an observation. Of this magnificent thing taking place and this magnificent thing, all for the same purpose, right? And so your ancestors want you to know that sometimes you just have to observe. Sometimes you don't have to speak. Sometimes you don't have to do. Sometimes you just need to sit and observe. And when you sit and observe, they don't want you to separate yourself from the observation. Your guides and your ancestors are wanting you to be present in the observation. And the reason why they're saying that is because they don't want for you to get complacent or doing things just to be doing them. Everything that you do is supposed to be for the overall purpose. Anything else in addition to is not of importance, so to speak. So be an observation and don't separate yourself from the observer. Always be an observer. And the reason why they say that is because when we get into a place and we are doing our meditations and we're doing our rituals and all of these things, it's so many different thoughts that may be playing through your head, or whatever the intention is that you go into the meditation with. And sometimes with certain meditations, especially meditations that require you to self-reflect, it doesn't necessarily have to have an intention, because if you are in observation, then what's needing to come up will be seen. It'll be felt and it'll be understood. And so the guys and your ancestors are saying that, like, sometimes you just need to sit and observe. Just watch, just pay attention to everything that's moving within you and around you. That way you could be aware of who you are. Because your whole entire existence is about aligning with self and knowing yourself. And then when you align with self, you align with your soul purpose. And when you align with your soul purpose, then you align with what your overall mission is for this life cycle. And the more that you know yourself, the more that you will continue to know yourself. And what your guides and ancestors are saying is you will never stop learning things about yourself, especially if you're always observing. Especially if you're always paying attention, always have a watchful eye out for self. So what you were doing 5 years ago, you may have evolved from that. And a lot of the resistance that you may be feeling, for those of you that are feeling this resistance, is because you have evolved from the thing that your soul relied on at that time. And so your soul is now calling you to make a move or make a step forward. And in order to make a step forward, there has to be some releases, look. And those releases that are going to that you're going to have are not necessarily a bad thing, even if that thing is what made you who you are right now. All right. And so with this release is going to open up an opportunity for the new alignment to come in. All right. And you have to be aligned with the frequency of what it is that you want to attain or accomplish, whatever that may be. So for some, many want to connect with their higher self, so you have to release things of the old self in order to align with the higher self. And part of those things that are of the old self, those are the things that's creating the resistance, the tug of war, the discontentment, the lack of motivation, and all of these things that you may be feeling, because this is an energy that supports lack of motivation. This is an energy that supports a surge, you know. And as you're leading up to this powerful energy, what's supposed to be happening on the back end is the purging of the old things. So many of you may be experiencing headaches, nausea. Some of you may be experiencing diarrhea. Others of you may be just extremely dehydrated and feeling like you're needing a lot of water. You know, others of you might be had that past them a couple of weeks ago and already in the charge of the energy, right? And so sometimes things has to be released in order to, well, not sometimes, all of the times, all things has to be released, you know. And thinking back on when this journey initially started for me, the things that I would align with, I no longer resonate with. It no longer does what it used to do for my soul. All right, my soul is requiring more, you know. And so my soul is requiring more because the responsibility is much greater. Okay. And so with that does not necessarily mean that, you coming off your soul journey. It just means that you're evolving along the way, you guys. So you guys and your ancestors saying that you're going to evolve and you're going to detach, and don't feel bad about the detachments, you know. Just like some of you may, I don't know, you may have been into tarot and you no longer want to do tarot anymore. Okay. It's not the fact, and there's a lot of resistance around the tarot. It's not the fact that you're not in alignment just because you're not doing the tarot. It's just your soul has evolved to something different. That no longer works for you. That no longer resonates with you. All right. And that's called growth. And what's going to happen throughout your entire experience is you're going to constantly be growing. You're going to constantly change. You're going to constantly evolve. It's like if you work out long enough, you're going to start to see the definition. You're going to start to see the toning. You're going to start to see the weight loss. You're going to start to see the transformation. You're going to start feel the effects of what these exercises and what these routines have done for you. Other people are going to start to see what that has done for you, the physical changes, the spiritual changes, the internal changes that's going to come about with this growth. And the same on your spiritual journey. You're going to continue to evolve. And the more that you are in observation of self, the more that you are breathing, the more that you are connecting with your guides and your ancestors, the more that you are putting, the more healthy things you're putting into your body, the more things that you are consuming that fill and fuel and feed your spirit, the more changes that people are going to notice about you. You're going to look different to people. You're going to look transformed, because anybody can put on some clothes and play with some crystals and burn some sage, but and look spiritual. But it's a different thing when you are living and walking in spirit, in your spirit, in the true essence of yourself, right? And so your guides and your ancestors are saying, like, the more that you evolve in this, the more that you grow in this, the more that people will start to see those changes. They'll even start to notice, some people will even start to notice physical changes about you. They'll be like, you know what, you look a little lighter. Whoa, what's going on with you today? What you did? Hey, you glowing. You're not pregnant, are you? And you know good doggone well, ain't no possibility of you getting pregnant and somebody asking you that. You know, but things like that. People will start to notice these changes on you, and you ain't did nothing but worked on your soul growth. Okay? That's what your guys and your ancestors are saying. They're also saying that, like, they don't want you going broke trying to do this, like, in order to be spiritual, right? You know, everybody got a blueprint. Everybody got a blueprint, and everybody has those things that work for them. And yes, there are things that without the proper training, you're not going to be able to do on your own until you receive the proper guidance from the elders, you know. But at the same time, knowing of self, you can know yourself on your own. All right. Your guides and your ancestors are saying that you can align with yourself and you can align with the frequency of the universe just by coming out here in nature. Again, this whole download started out about this strawberry farm that didn't even have any strawberries, you know, but still was able to take away something that fed the soul, you know, something that fed me and something that was able to nourish me. And so nature has all that you need. And so when you come out in nature, what tends to happen is if you're in like a bad mood or you just had an off day, whatever the case may be, you might even be feeling good. You might just want to raise your frequency. All you have to do is just come out here and align yourself with the frequency of the universe and allow the wind from the trees to be your meditation music. Allow the energy that surrounds you to be your singing bowl. Like, nature has all that you need in order for you to align with the universal frequency, in order for you to know self. All right. So that's what your guides and ancestors are saying. They're like, look, don't go broke. To be spiritual, you don't gotta spend a dime if you don't want to, and you definitely don't need to have to go and buy no crystals if you don't want to. You can sit and observe self, ask self questions, tell your soul to speak to you, and watch how things just begin to change. So many things will begin to change around you. All right? So many things will begin to change within you. All right? Because it's time out for all of this extra stuff. Because all of this extra stuff wasn't even available on this scale to the ancestors. All right? To the ones before you. Okay? Your guides and your ancestors also want you to know that there is no reason to harbor resentment or shame, anger, any type of emotion to your ancestors or your lineage. To your ancestors or your lineage. Here's why. Because you are an extension of them. And so in your observation, your guides and your ancestors are wanting you to observe. This word is just going to always be a struggle for me. They're wanting you to observe this. And the reason why I'm using observe instead of analyze, because those are two different things. Analyzation requires the mind to look into something in order to solve it. And your guides and your ancestors, they are not telling me to communicate with you to analyze anything about yourself and this message as it relates to the instructions that they are wanting you to do, that they are wanting you to follow. They are telling you to observe, because analyzation requires you to go on a voyage to try to solve or prove something, and that's not what they want you to do right now. All right, so not to harbor any resentment or anger towards your guides and your ancestors, because they are an extension of you. And if there are any feelings of resentment, any feelings of anger, or anything like that, then paying attention to those things, because the very thing that you may be running from, you may already be becoming. Right? So it's important for you to really feel deeply into those parts of yourself. Feel deeply into those parts of them that make up you, if that makes sense. All right? So you guys and your ancestors are telling you to get in observation mode. It's time for you to really start exploring yourself on a deeper level. And the more that you explore, observe, align, and attune with yourself, the faster you will get into alignment with your higher self and into alignment with your soul purpose and your soul mission. All right? And guess what? Sometimes the soul mission and the soul purpose can change. So make sure you understand that about this whole situation as well. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this message. If you like the content on this page, go ahead and hit like, comment, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you know when I'm uploading, and I'll holler at y'all.